have been journaling since I was about 8 years old. How I got started journaling is kind of funny. I found some really nice paper and a nice pen, and I started writing initially just to practice my handwriting, just to practice it. Since then, I have journaled on and off throughout my life, and has went as far as to write even a small little teenage novel at the time when I was a teenager, I should say. Journaling is not as hard as people think it is. Why it's important to journal? It can change your life. Documentation, gratitude, events that come along, certain things that happen in your life that you would definitely want to document so that you can remember those things. I journal in my planner, I journal in a journal, and I journal in my bullet journal. That is one of the things that I can honestly say that I have never stopped doing is journaling. You can look back, I can look back a year or two from now and just look at all the collections that I have of my bullet journals sitting on my bookshelf. And I can see what years, when I started, how it's dated. I can do that when it comes to my bullet journal and journaling. I've collected journals over the time, and I do use them. A lot of people think that, oh my gosh, how do you use all those journals? What do you write in those journals? How do you have time to write in those journals? Trust me, it is something that I've always done. I found the time. You make the time. You ever heard that saying, you make the time for what you love to do the best? That's exactly what I've done. I have journaled events. I have journaled all kinds of things. I have constantly filled my cup and made sure my cup is filled. And what fills my cup is journaling. Journaling gives me peace of mind. It gives me thought process. It helps me weed out certain decisions that I make in my life. I journal about so many things, my adventures. I just recently went to Europe. I've journaled about that. I've journaled about a lot of things that went on when I was there in Europe. I had a lot of good fun, did a lot of things, I should say. But one of the biggest things that I can remember is that I continue to journal. Special events, special family moments, they all need to be documented. Not just by photos and not just by your phones. Yeah, a lot of people say, well, I don't like writing. You know what? Special events deserve to be written down. Things that you do as an adventure deserve to be written down. You want to make sure that you capture that moment on paper. It's not just about the photos. It's not just about the digital. It's about taking the time out, grabbing a journal, grabbing a pen, and writing down what happens. Being consistent. The one thing I can honestly say is I do use my planner a lot for journaling. I use my planner all the time for journaling. But I also have a separate journal because the planner, I can only put so much. And so what I do is I take that journal that I have and I write down longer events, things I want to make sure that I remember, things I want to make sure that if I'm gone, that my family can see what I was thinking, my thoughts. Even though right now to me, my thoughts are private, I still would like for them to be able to look back and see what I've written. You can pick up any book, any small book, any journaling, anything, any journal, I should say, anything that you think that you could write in. Be consistent. Some people use notebooks, planners, journals, bullet journals, traveler's notebooks. You need to journal about everything that you can possibly think of that you won't remember. Because trust me, the mind can only remember so much. I've taken a time out to just really sit down and just put on paper what I've always wanted. And that's what my channel mainly is about. It's about me documenting. Yes, I'm documenting, full, digitally, or I'm documenting things through videos and things, but I'm also journaling. I am actually writing down. There's a lot of science that goes behind journaling, and what they found out is that, especially with people who want to deal with their mental health issues on a regular basis, journaling helps that. Journaling actually curbs a lot of that. You could put down on your paper. So in other words, if you're journaling, you can write down, oh, hey, I'm not feeling really good today, but, or this kind of thing happened today, or I had an anxiety attack, and this is why I think I had the anxiety attack. You can literally map out what is really going on in your life and make sense of what is going on in your life. You say, hey, I am not feeling all that great today because so-and-so said this. Well, why you didn't like what so-and-so said? Well, I didn't like what so-and-so said because it made me feel this way. Well, why did it make you feel that way? Well, because I don't like that and it sent a trigger. Well, why did you have the trigger? So you can see, if you sit down and take the time out to journal and figure out what is going on in your minds, because like I said, we can only hold so much in our heads, then you will be able to figure out why. What is the root cause of how you're feeling if you're doing a mental health journal? If you're just documenting your lives, if you're documenting your adventures, you can do that as well. But journaling, I'm telling you now, will change your life, especially if you be consistent. Some people have made memoirs out of their journal. Some people have written books from their journaling. There is so much that you can do with journaling, and you'll be able to just pretty much sit back and relax and look back. My favorite part about journaling is looking at a journal I wrote a year or so ago, or looking at an entry in a journal that I wrote maybe 6 months ago, or maybe like earlier this year. I can do that because I have documented and I have written down what happened earlier in the year. So if you're interested in learning how to journal, if you're interested in documentation, if you're learning how to keep track of what is going on in your mind, in your thoughts on a regular basis, then I can help you with that. I am teaching a beta class, which is going to be free, and I'm only accepted up to 50 people. So if you are interested, please let me know. I will be more than happy to put you on that emailing list. I will definitely DM you to let you, give me your email list. But hey, documentation is fun. Writing down all of your adventures, writing down everything that you've been through in your life, writing down things that have happened to you in your life is always a plus. Next thing you know, after having this particular thing, you'll have a bunch of journals, stacks of them. Digital journaling, typing it up, writing it up, whether you're doing either or, will always, always benefit you, no matter what form or shape you take on for journaling. You can do this. This is one of the things that I can honestly say that is worth taking the time out of your day to do, whether it's in the morning, at night, or before you go to sleep. Take the time for you.